Thank you, Circle Band. Did anybody notice what happened there? Those of you who are musically inclined? Yes, but what happened with the song? Did anybody notice anything different? It didn't quite get started. It just stayed in the beginning bar, the beginning loop. It didn't really go anywhere else. It just stayed in the intro. Just like that roller coaster ride. How did that feel to you? It only went up. It never dropped. How did that feel? How did that song feel just going nowhere else, just staying in that excitement of the beginning of the song and not going anywhere? You see, when it comes to our entertainment, we look for the ups and the downs, and we live for the ups and the downs. We want that roller coaster ride to drop and twist and turn. We want that song to go somewhere so we can listen to it, enjoy and connect with it and dance and go up and down with it. We want our movies to have sad moments, intense moments, and of course a happy ending. We want our sports, for those of you who are sports fanatics. What if your team never loses? What if your team really never falls back in a game and then comes back to win it? How about when the Spurs are winning by 30, 40 points? The game's not really that exciting. Again, in our entertainment, we look for the ups and the downs and the highs and the lows, but when it comes to our personal lives, we want nothing to do with them. We just want the ups. We just want the highs. When the downs come, we push it away, we resist, we don't want anything to do with it. What would life be like that without the downs? What would life feel like? I recently read that you learn what is by what isn't, by experiencing what isn't. You learn the truth by recognizing your own deceptions. You become divine by feeling and experiencing your humanity. You learn to love through hate or being hated on. You cast out fear by facing your deepest fears. The contrast is absolutely necessary and essential for our growth. If we only experience one extreme or the other, it would be too much to handle. Imagine just eating all day long, never getting full, not taking that time to really process your food and then come back again later on and enjoying a different type of food. You would burst. It would be too much to handle. And so the contrast comes then like a much needed release. I don't know if you're familiar how stars are formed, and if I've shared this with you before, I'm going to share it again. Stars, they say we're made of stardust, right? The elements in our bodies are made of the same elements that the stars have. The stuff, the elements that the stars use to become stars, you find them in the auroras, and those beautiful, colorful lights. But it's not in the pretty colors. There's nothing in the pretty colors that a star could use to make itself. The elements are found in the dark pockets of the northern lights, of the auroras, and the dark parts. That's where you shine. That's how you become great. By using your dark parts, by turning them into light. The first 31 years of my life, I spent them, like the most of us, very identified with my humanness, very identified with my ego. And then for the past 6 years, I've been in a transformation stage, sort of like in a safety cocoon. You know, maybe avoiding my humanness, I could say, for a while. I mean, I swung the pendulum to the other side completely, and I went slowly focusing on my spiritual beingness. And I was really just taking care of my humanness, letting it be safe for a little while, because 6 years ago, I felt like it was so broken. But what I'm realizing now is that as I am ready to come out, I'm in a stage where I'm coming out of the cocoon again, to continue to seek for truth. And what I'm finding out is that the only truth that really exists is the one where my humanness and my beingness meets. That point where the two meet, that is love. And I'm learning to embrace and to love my humanness. The part of me for the past 6 years I've been kind of putting aside. Those dark parts of me that are showing up. And I'm trying to treat it with kindness. That place of love where they meet, that's where we become great. That's our truth right there. Ultimately, that's where we're all going. Ultimately, everything is taking us towards love. And if the goal is love, then the path is truth. And everything that happens in that path is leading us to our truth, to realize our truth, to realize love, what we are. And as we tend to focus so much on one or the other, or we want to focus on the good and not so much the low, the high and not so much the low, the humanness versus the beingness, where one, if without the other, one perishes. And they're both equally powerful. And they're both part of who you are. They're both part of Source. They're both trying to show you parts of you so that you can become more. So you can realize that which you are. And so just like our songs, our sports, our roller coaster rides, our movies, how we look for the ups and the downs and how essential they are. Know that the ups and the downs in your life are essential. The contrast is essential. That's how we come into that place where the humanness meets your beingness. And when you accept that part of you, both good and evil, both light and dark, one always constant and one constantly changing. When you embrace that which you are, you become it because you've always been it. So I want to encourage you today to not stiff arm the lows, but welcome them as another part of who you are. Both experiences coming from the same place, from the same source, coming to show you who you are. Thank you.